After finishing a Super Bowl extravaganza like we've had tonight, it's hard to believe that the first two teams suited up for the first Super Bowl 50 years ago.
50 years ago. And it was 50 years ago that a former Alabama quarterback would lead the Green Bay Packers to a Super Bowl win over the Kansas City Chiefs. In fact, that star, Bart Starr, would be named the MVP not only of the first but also of the second Super Bowl. And the question is, what is Bart Starr up to today? Well, featurekarle can answer that question for us.
Yeah, great couple. Met them about 27 years ago. And you know the Stars back then, Bart and Sherry. They could be the sweetest, most likable couple. And I call them Birmingham's royal couple. They were married 63 years ago.
Wow.
A little known fact, they eloped while Bart was a Bama football player. Oh, inside stuff here. But they had me over to the Birmingham home where they freely talked about how much their love for each other has really helped them through some pretty difficult times. He was always the underdog, but Bart Starr had drive, had heart. And just over 10 years after eloping to marry his high school sweetheart, the 200th pick in the 1956 NFL Draft found himself a Super Bowl hero.
Starr proves again why he is the best quarterback in football.
50 years after he helped make Super and Bowl household words, Bart Starr reminds us of the resolve that made him a legend. The journey has been a roller coaster, and he just keeps hanging in there.
He's like the Energizer Bunny, isn't he?
Brilliant.
He just keeps going.
You wonder what Bart Starr sees when he stares into that football. Perhaps a career dream come true. But today, reality involves rehab 3 times a week as the MVP of Super Bowls 1 and 2 rekindles a work ethic that has never left. It's been a fight, but you've fought through it, haven't you?
I just love the fight.
You don't mind that fight, do you?
No,
And you fight it every day.
yeah, I do.
He's been fighting the fight for over 2 years now, fighting the effects of 2 strokes, a heart attack, multiple seizures, a broken hip, and staph infections. And Bart Starr's not done fighting yet.
When he was just making his place in pro football, he faced a lot of obstacles, and he overcame all of them to become the great quarterback that he became. But in the last 2 years, I don't know of anybody that has had to overcome more than he's had to overcome.
It's certainly been a process, but thanks to a series of stem cell treatments and an athlete's hard work, Bart soldiers on. The fact that you were an athlete, do you think has helped you more?
Oh yeah, no question about it.
You miss throwing the football a little bit?
No.
What else keeps this man moving? The Green Bay Packers nation, a nation that has never left.
I don't think either one of us realized what winning the first Super Bowl was going to mean to us as a family, and especially to Bart, and actually to Green Bay.
Those Packers fans love you, don't they?
Oh yeah.
The number one motivating factor in Bart's comeback, a 63-year storybook marriage and his love for wife Cherry. In fact, a note written by his wife sits in the Star's kitchen that Bart passes each morning.
It just says, "Good morning, darling."
And a poem that the couple has cherished and shared with others for years is ready to be read.
Some people come into our lives
Quickly and go like waves, briefly touching the shore.
Some people stay for a while and give us a deeper understanding of what is truly important in this life.
They touch our souls.
We gain strength from the footprints they have left on our hearts, and we will never, ever be the same. Isn't that beautiful?
You've been married over 6 decades. Give us some advice.
It's what makes marriages strong, that you can overcome your difficulties, and it just makes you closer and more in love than ever.
Tell me about your wife, how special she is.
She's very special because she's He's unbelievable.
We rehearsed that. He's been the most loving, the most kind, the most thoughtful, the most generous man I've ever known, not just to me. He treats everyone the way he treats me, with respect and love and generosity. And that's why people love him so much.
Man, we love them. And what an impressive couple. I go in there to set up for the interview, and Sherry says, I'm not really high on myself today. I played some tennis this morning, but it was only for an hour and a half. You know, it's like in her early 80s. Bart has for years written a poem every night and slipped under Sherry's pillow before she goes to bed, so she has a new poem to read, nodding off. If you'd like to check in and leave them a message, my Facebook page, Rick Carle, WBRC. We are getting responses from Milwaukee, from California, from throughout the world, and I'll post that piece on my Facebook page.
And you really see, it is that he's an athlete, that he's doing so well, but it's that champion heart in him that made him the MVP so long ago. But that's what keeps him fighting, isn't it?
And all those ailments too. I mean, he's
But you know what though? I remember reading about him as a kid, reading about those Super Bowls, thrilled to run into him at a restaurant here, and was just as down to earth and friendly as he could be.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I mean, if there's a role model, or there's two of them, you know where to find them.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
can't help but wish the best for him.